All right, we got our next vintage VintCo racer build here, and we got Don Hutchinson here, and I was kind of thinking of one of the last bikes we wanted to shoot, and I saw this one, and I'm like, and Spencer and I both noticed how cool this thing looked with a bunch of these billet pieces from Maico's Only.
Yeah.
So first of all, this is a 1978, right?
Yeah, 1978 400.
And what kind of drew you to go after building this one?
So the story for me is when I was a kid, I had a picture of the 81 Maico 490 hanging on my bedroom wall. I never rode one. I didn't know anybody that owned one, but I just thought it was the coolest bike on the planet. So I always wanted a Maico. And then this opportunity came up to buy this bike, and it was obviously not in this condition. I fully restored it, drove to Fresno to get it. So we got it, and then went to work on fixing everything that makes them better. You know, like you see, it's got the billet clamps.
And these are stock forks, but with just
stock forks. So these are 78 forks. A lot of guys will put the later forks on them that are bigger diameter, but we went with the originals. Just I guess for practical
who made
reasons.
the clamps?
These are Maico's Only clamps. The original clamps were just a little flexy. They didn't pinch near as good, so they were a little flexy. So that's why Eric came up with that.
And down here at the front wheel, so you went with these Sun rims, right?
Yeah, I went with Sun because Sun is a period correct wheel. You know, I try and kind of keep them period correct when it's practical, and Buchanan's, they are Sun rims.
Okay,
now.
they do the spokes too.
Right, so they built the wheels.
And where are they out of?
They're in Glendora area.
Okay, in Southern California.
Down there, yeah, they're here in SoCal.
And then I noticed these brake pieces are really cool, all out of billet.
Yeah, Eric, those are Eric and Maico's Only parts. So they just tidy everything up, and the stock Maico brake plates are a little flimsy. So these are just great parts. And he makes a longer brake arm too, so that the advantage that you get with that, the Maico's Only brake arm, is gives a little more leverage.
Oh.
So it on the front on that drum brake.
Very nice. And then let's go to the rear of the bike. Oh, also let's talk a little bit about the tank and plastic. What'd you do for all those pieces?
So this tank, this is the original aluminum tank, and this bike was in pretty good shape, so there wasn't any real major body work on fixing that tank. You know, we painted it, and then you can see I put clear plastic on it.
Over the logos, yeah.
Over it, yeah.
Really nice.
To try and protect it. So the plastic's readily available. That's no problem to get that stuff.
Which company do you use for that? What is it?
This all came from Maico's Only. He doesn't make it.
But he brings it in. He
brings it in, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Seat cover, same thing?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. That may be the original seat. I may not have. I don't remember if I redid that one or not.
It looks pretty nice.
There's plenty of people that make good quality seat covers for it. Maicos are an easy bike to get parts for.
Yeah, lots of stuff here. I noticed, and then on the swing arm, I'm seeing that this has got his
yeah, so
logo.
It's a Maico's Only swing arm. It's a much better swing arm than stock. And then I had the stickers made because that's a Thor style swing arm, but but Maico's Only is bought the extrusion to build them, and they're a beautiful piece.
So with the swing arm, it definitely helps to the suspension of this bike.
Correct. The stock swing arms were really flexy, and that's a big deal on a twin shock bike. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of leverage on it.
And so it looks like you got these Fox shocks on here, and those are original 40 years old.
Yeah, those are original Fox shocks from the period rebuilt.
So those are very nice looking. And then what about the engine? What'd you do here?
This engine is completely redone. I mean, Eric and Maico's Only did it. Balance crank, new piston, did every single thing to it. So it's completely fresh, done. I've never raced it. In fact, I haven't even started it. I unfortunately made it so nice. I hate to admit it, but I'm a little afraid to get it dirty because it was so much work to make it this nice. And a lot of guys would probably laugh at what's the point of building a dirt bike, you're not going to ride it. But I have a few
90% of what you build, most of 90% of what you own, you ride.
Yes, correct. So I've got some other Maicos that I would race. for now. This will probably get, I could switch out the tank and go race it, but I just wanted to enjoy it in its pristine condition for a little while before I went and got it dirty.
How long has it been done to this state?
This bike's probably been done 5 years.
Have you started it?
Never started it.
Oh my word!
But everything that needed to be done. This bike is 100% fresh, perfect. Needs nothing.
All right, we're gonna have a few guys that are gonna want to come start it with you.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, but it's a great motorcycle.
Well, that's a fun look at this Maico 400. Hopefully you guys all enjoy it as much as I do. Oh, he makes the pipe as well. That's one of
Eric's pipes.
So he has a lot of parts for these things, and silencer as well.
Yeah.
So because the silencer is much more modern looking than.
Yeah, and he makes them round or oval depending on what guys want. He makes the pipes for a bunch of different vintage bikes, and he puts a lot of time into building a quality piece in terms of making sure that it actually runs better than stock. It's not just about making it look pretty.
Right. And I noticed you got the wider foot pegs, which is
it's got Maico's only Proform pegs on it. The stock pegs on these vintage bikes for a guy that rides a modern bike, it's unthinkable to ride one of those little things.
No, I'm with you. So anyway, that's a really great look at this Maico 400. Hopefully you enjoy it.